Does anybody have any corrections for the minutes? Welcome you all.
Yeah.
No.
Just,
Very good.
was it last meeting that Amy set up that group communication thing?
I
Right.
think so. Yes.
It was 2 meetings ago.
Oh,
Yes,
okay, thanks.
you're right.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks. Good, okay.
So, all in favor of approving the minutes as they are?
Does somebody need to,
Oh, motion. Oh, yeah.
motion?
I move that we approve the minutes from
Okay.
August, whatever
Ninth.
meeting, 7th
August 7th. Yeah.
meeting. I need a
Great.
second.
Second. I'll second.
Okay.
Okay, thanks. And Janet does too.
All in favor?
Good. All in favor of approving the minutes? That looks unanimous.
All right.
We're so organized sometimes.
We are, I'll tell you, organization is the deal. So let's move on to the Ag Day evaluation discussion. Any thoughts on that?
I don't think we
we're
could
there.
without Laura Mills. She really added a lot.
Didn't
Yeah.
she? Yeah,
Yeah.
Laura was fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was,
We ought to have a we ought to have a jar of honey for Laura or something, you know.
I don't know what it was like in the morning, but in general, it seemed like lower attendance, probably because the weather was so miserable.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. But at the same time, I was there both in the morning and the afternoon. I wasn't there midday. Thank goodness Janet kind of covered for me. But I thought at both ends of the day, we were always busy. You know, always somebody was interested in them, and we got rid of a lot. Well, I shouldn't say that. We found a number of people that wanted to plant plants, and that was good.
I'm sorry I didn't get any of your twigs. They were on the ground and I felt bad about that.
Oh, don't worry, I've got plenty more. In fact, I'll bring some over. And all you have to do is just stick them in moist ground.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. And a friend of mine used to just stick 3 in at each location, and he said usually 1 or 2 survived.
Huh.
You know,
So
put
just to recap what Laura said, the rest of, a lot of the plants were given away, but the remaining ones are at Fowler. So if anybody
okay.
asks members, they should refer them to Fowler Library.
Okay. So they're willing to give them out from Fowler.
Yep.
Okay, that's great.
I think they're just in the backyard, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
Okay.
And
I know.
thanks for so many plants.
Yeah.
So she and I transplanted those. And Green Thumbs is going to go ahead and have their bulb sale. So maybe we can have that as a giveaway with Green Thumbs.
Okay.
Get them to unload it. I won't be around. I'm going to be, I think, in Seattle when that happens.
Okay.
When's that scheduled for?
It's scheduled for the West Concord Discovery Day, and I can't remember.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a bulb sale or a bulb giveaway?
It's a bulb sale.
Great. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, they do a fall bulb sale and see if I can find the date.
Okay.
Okay. October 21st.
Okay, super.
What day of the week is that?
That's a Saturday.
Thank you, Isabel.
So I'll it's Karen Young who's coordinating it, I think. And I'll tell her that we'll contribute leftover. And do you want to do any willows?
Yeah, I was just thinking that too. I could cut some willows, and this time I'll get them in the water a little earlier so they're more rooted.
Okay.
good.
Where in West Concord is the bulb sale?
It's usually at the New Leaf. It's
Okay,
a store
Right
in
next to right next to the train station. So when you
Okay.
cross over the tracks on Commonwealth, there's a little store right past the entrance to the commuter lot. It's like a little furniture rehab place.
okay,
It's a recycle of all kinds of things. I got a wonderful lamp there.
okay.
Thank you.
Interesting.
I think we could do a little bit better in coordinating our literature.
Yes.
And I wondered if, along with that, and maybe this is new business, I don't know, but with the September 27th Doug Talamy presentation,
Yes.
we need to have, we ought to coordinate our literature there.
Yes.
And
And your
we could,
twigs would be great there,
the what?
the willow twigs.
Oh, yeah, it's true. We could bring willows to the 27th.
Yeah.
This is good. Those willows are way over my raspberries, and I've been wanting to move them on. And these willows are gigantic. I mean, they're really.
Have you ID'd them as being native for sure?
Yes. Well, I can't say that for sure, but I can say that I did get them from the Middlesex Conservation District,
Okay.
and I'm hoping they did it.
Some things are native from them and some are not, but
Yeah.
mostly they try to do East Coast things, it seems.
Yeah.
It was my experience with them, but
Because Delia is asking for the origin of any of the plants that I have.
Yeah. I guess I'll,
Well,
I can
That's-
refer her to the Middlesex folks, I guess.
Right.
Cool. I think you're right. I think the literature needs to be better coordinated because if we all have kind of like a catalog idea of what all the things are,
Mhm.
we can do a better job talking to people and giving them the right stuff. I think
and
that's
that,
really,
yeah, and that's some of us who don't know all the things, if we had a little bit of a tutorial ahead of time.
Yeah,
yes,
I should have brought my milk jug for demo. There was a
yeah,
lot of interest in that.
Yeah, that's always good.
yeah. That's a
Um,
good point. I could have done something with the willows in the way of a demo too.
Well, and we had space for more another table.
Yeah.
Good idea.
And, I mean, most people didn't bring chairs,
Yes.
and, I don't know if that was helpful or not.
I had a stool.
I was glad to have a place to sit down periodically.
Yeah. I brought one, but I gotta say, I probably spent only about 10% of my time in it, if that.
Yeah.
But it was nice to have it when you needed it, and it
Yeah.
gave me a place to put stuff too.
Yeah, okay,
I was
so what,
thinking it would be nice if there were better labels on all the little plants in the little solo cups.
We ran out of labels and it's expensive it's just very time consuming. If we had more volunteers to help us, we would do more. But we had not, we had any volunteers.
yeah, did
Whatever.
you ask us? I mean, I don't remember. Oh, okay. I tend to forget things, so it's okay to bug me a few times. And I know that's annoying, but I try to write things down, but I do forget. So I won't consider you bugging me if
They
somebody.
were all labeled cups because we didn't have any sticks. We'd run out of yogurt containers, we'd run out of everything.
Okay. I can make some of those if you want.
Sure, we can always use them. We're gonna have a lot of workshops this winter. We'll need them.
What
But
do you,
would
sticks?
small pieces of cedar work as a stick?
Sure,
You
but
know, be about the size of about so long and about so wide. If
they
right
need
on
to
a
be
wall.
longer.
Pardon?
They need to be longer.
Okay.
And I have a bunch, a handful of garden marker pens. So I'm more than happy to
Oh,
give
great.
them to people
Okay.
who need them. Yeah,
You could
there's
maybe
some,
make the sticks and give them to you for the labeling, Lois, or something like that.
there, I'm willing to do that kind of thing.
Okay.
If just kind of give me an idea what you need. And if anyone wants some of the garden pens, I meant to bring some Saturday and I forgot to. But,
Yeah, those are nice because they don't bleach out with the sun, I think.
right, and I have like a handful of them that aren't opened, so
Nice.
I was gonna bring one for everyone on Saturday and I forgot. Sorry about that.
No problem.
I'll try to remember to put them in my bag for the next time.
But how long would you want those labels, Isabel?
They should be 4 to 6 inches.
Okay. So if I
What
find
kind
a
of,
yogurt container that size, if I take slices out of that for label material?
I use the large yogurt containers and do it.
Okay. Okay.
Priscilla did some really nice wide ones up at the high school, so you can really read it.
Yes. Okay. I'll check because I go over to the high school now and then I'll check those. Good. Yeah, I think I've seen them. You're right. They could even be an inch wide and maybe about
Mhm.
6 inches long or something.
Sure.
Okay. Because we throw away a lot of plastic here, and I think it'd be very easy to make sticks out of those things too.
That'd be great.
Okay.
The clear plastic's a little hard to see.
Yes, so it should be white. Yeah. Okay, good point.
I don't think I know what you mean when you say you use yogurt containers.
You have an empty container, you cut straight down to the base, and then you make a parallel cut, and then cut the base, and you've got a strip.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, gotcha.
yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah.
That'd be nice. One yogurt container could probably crank out 8 or 9 of those strips.
Oh, okay, I can do that.
Yeah.
I have the yogurt
I
containers
have a
too.
granddaughter at the high school. Maybe she could round up yogurt containers for me.
Yeah, it's the bigger ones, not the little
It's-
guys.
Yeah,
Yes.
you need like the quart size, and that's what I have all the time. Yeah,
Yeah,
I probably go through at least one a week.
yeah. Cool.
So, okay, yogurt containers.
Anything else from the Ag Day?
I think coordinating things is gonna be, would be a lot better. And I think like we had a lot of like papers that I'm not sure really what they all were. And then the ones that we really seem to need, we ran out of. There was I think it was a trifold.
Yeah, it was the pollinator self-guide.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Ran them all for the library.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we ran out of those, so I think, and some of the ones with lots of paper, and then the QR codes and things,
Mm-hmm.
that started getting, I think there should be some way we can coordinate them a little better than having like a whole bunch of them.
Mm-hmm.
And like, okay, on the 27th,
Mm-hmm.
that, isn't that a, is that a webinar, or
Mhm.
is it, there's nothing in person then, is there?
I think isn't it at the library, but a webinar?
Yes.
I
Okay,
think they're gonna show like some sort of shortened Doug Ptolemy lecture.
okay, so it's a combo.
Get people interested in doing native plants and pollinators.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's at the library.
Yeah, you need to sign up.
I couldn't, I tried, I didn't find it. I'll look again. Might have been too
It's for
tired.
the climate action week.
Yeah,
I think she called it What's the Rush?
okay. Now, will we have a table will there be tables that night or not? Does anyone know that piece?
It's not clear to me if there's tables, but I think but we should plan on it
Yeah,
and just be it.
Okay.
I think on Saturday, Laura said something about that to me, and I sort of got the impression it would be a lot like Dr. Jaguar's talk. March, I think it was.
So, what would you want me to do for, bulletin board? I'll leave the leaves for the moment.
Yes, we need that.
I have
All right,
another
so
I have another bulletin board that has cork on one side and it has, what do you call it? The dry erase kind of stuff on the other side.
Yeah.
It's the same small size.
so I'm
If you-
just sorry,
ahead.
I'm just looking at the thing from the library, and it's in person but watching a video, and then she's trying to put together panelists afterwards to talk about steps to shrink lawns, remove invasive species, add native plants, avoid insecticides, herbicides, and fertilizers, etc.
That
So-
sounds, yeah, that sounds good. So even if we didn't have a table, we might have a little piece of a table where we would put out some literature to hand out. And so in that case, maybe one action item might be that we make a catalog of what we've got in the way of literature.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Well, I think the thing is that Laura put together on her QR code everything.
Okay,
And I think maybe I get her to print that out so that we can see what the list is.
yes,
And then we're not going to meet before the next thing. But at least if we print out a hard copy, people can then see what they're referencing.
yeah.
Because
Well, even if Laura, go ahead,
What-
sorry.
I looked at it and I couldn't find the native plant list that Delia likes. But then Laura showed me where it was. So I think having a hard copy that's in plastic that people can then reference. This is what you're going to want from the QR code.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I find the QR codes confusing, but I'll learn eventually.
yeah, they were
Well,
pretty
I think it's very confusing when it's 3 pages long. So.
yeah.
Anything else?
I think that's good. Should we move on to new business?
Or,
Pardon?
Sure.
So our first item is to say thank you to Christina.
I can't believe you're leaving. I mean, we were going to be lost without your organizational skills. Seriously,
yeah, I'm so
mean-
sad.
you're 10, that's okay, but your skills are really been so helpful.
Yeah.
you very much.
Well, you're welcome to take my templates and work from those.
Where are you going, Christina?
No place. I'm just completely inundated at work, and I just don't have the bandwidth to
All right.
do much of anything these days. So my new job is much busier than my old job was when I joined the committee.
What is your new job?
I work at a biotech company,
That's all.
developing oncology therapeutics.
Wow.
Cool. Important stuff.
Yeah. Well, I hope you drop in occasionally at least, or at least say hello.
Oh, yeah, I'll definitely try to do so.
Yep. And bee venom stimulates the autoimmune system. So that's a good thing.
Unless you're allergic.
That's true. It can do that too. Oh, boy.
Where's-
The I was wondering, does anyone have a proposal for new members that we might bring onto the committee? Or a new member, I should say.
Isabel, is Amy interested?
Yeah, I mean, she's expressed it formally to the town and she's been waiting to be nominated. I don't know what the holdup is. I mean, to wait 3 months to be nominated doesn't bode well to the being welcomed. I don't know. I don't know.
Is
if
that the
she's-
select board we're waiting on?
No, I think we could sell a select board that as a committee, we would like Amy on our committee, which I would totally back. She 2 meetings ago when she dove in and solved that problem for us.
So
You know,
who
what's
is,
not to love, right?
so who's the nominator? Who
Well,
are we-
I think we as a committee, we can just nominate. I can pass that on to, any of us could pass it on to the select board chair. I think it's Dane, Mr. Dane, and I'd be glad to do that. I need to talk to him anyway, because I haven't been, so I should.
Well, I thought you said we were waiting on somebody to do something.
No, I felt I wanted to bring it up as a piece of new business because I just wanted us to, I kind of felt we'd all say, let's just see if we can get Amy on the committee. The committee is limited to 7 people. We've talked, it isn't in our charge, but I think something that needs to be added to the charge is the idea of a couple of maybe associate members, because there's a little bit of startup time to understanding the pollinator problem. And, but I think, that doesn't have to be there, but it's kind of a good idea, I think. And anyway, I think Amy's of people, there are 2 people that showed interest in the committee a few months ago, and Amy's really kind of followed through on that. And so I think
Well,
she's
I
perfect.
don't know the other person or have the contact information. I mean, I invited Amy because I know her and
Yeah,
and she's shown up to a number of my activities. So
Yeah.
but the other person might be just as good. I don't know what his name is and I don't know how you reach him.
Who is it?
I've
Or-
corresponded with him by email and invited him to meetings. He hasn't come. Maybe it's not convenient.
Who is it?
Time we meet, but
What's the person's name?
let's see. Hang on, maybe I can find it. I'm sorry, don't have it right off the top of my head. Let's see.
I know when somebody's expressed interest, that's an important aspect.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
Amy sounds like she's
So
interested
Isabel,
in,
you said Amy had to put in her green card or whatever you call it.
Yes, she has. She put in her green card. Yep.
Okay. So it sounds like
Yeah, his name is
someone just
Owen
needs to
Chow.
reach out to the select board liaison to move things along.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
um,
I'll
I
talk
know-
to Amy first just to make sure she's still interested, which I'm sure she is, but just to tell her we'd be excited to have her join the committee.
and Mr. Dane is our coordinated person, but he never seems to come. Can we
Well,
ask
it's because
him out
this overlaps with the
Yeah,
board?
select board
which
meetings.
which brings me to my next thought, which is
But that's not,
we move our
tonight there's
meetings
no
from Monday
select
night.
board.
Wait a
Pardon?
minute. One person at a time, please.
Yep.
Okay, tonight there's no select board meeting.
Well, I did send him a copy of the agenda and stuff like that. But what if we move our meeting from Monday night? Any thoughts on that? I mean,
Why, what's the motivation for moving it?
well, one motivation is that with our select board liaison person might be able to attend an occasional meeting.
I
Most
spoke to
they meet at the same time
Henry
we meet.
at the
Pardon?
reception, I spoke with him and he said he's all for native plants, but he's very busy with other town stuff.
Sure.
So I don't think he's going to be an active member of our committee. And I think
Right.
we just
Oh,
communicate with him.
I don't expect the select board person to be at every one of our meetings by any stretch. But actually, I have a personal reason for wanting to move from Monday. It wouldn't have to be right away, but I used to sing in the Concord chorus and they rehearse on Monday nights, but I gave it up for COVID. But I'm thinking about going back possibly for the singing again. And they miss my terrific baritone voice. So I would be in favor of meeting a different night of the week, but or just a different time than right after dinner on Monday nights, because that is their rehearsal time. Rehearsals start at 7:30, I think, as I recall. But I don't think we can probably move our meeting earlier. Any thoughts? I mean, my situation is, of course, being retired and hardly active. I could meet almost any night.
I'm debating about choir. I have choir on Wednesday night, 7:45 to 9:30.
Okay. So
I'm booked on Wednesday night, every Wednesday for sure.
And that's, yeah.
So Wednesday's out. Yeah, no problem.
But again, I'm retired and, even daytime things sometimes work too.
Yeah.
But
I think I was one of the few who couldn't make it during the day, so
Yeah.
right, but
Evenings,
I don't know about others.
I think evening's better because there's so many conflicts that come up during the day for me.
yeah.
I would agree with that. I think day is tough. Yeah.
And right now I
A
have
lot of webinars on Thursday nights that I don't want to miss.
Okay. So Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday are out. Let's
At
go
least
with
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
what's
Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Okay. Why don't we do that? What should we start next? So we'll instead, our next meeting being on Monday the 2nd, we'll go with Tuesday the 3rd.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's give it a try.
Let me just double check here. Tuesday the 3rd.
So you want to be the first Tuesday of the month?
We could be another Tuesday if you want.
Nope, nope,
That's-
nope.
To work.
Well, I'm booked for the Lincoln Land Trust annual meeting. I'm not going to miss that.
That's
the 3rd.
Tuesday on the 3rd.
Yeah,
Well,
but
what
it's
if we
that.
do-
So
What
once
if we go with the second Tuesday, the 10th?
I'll be in San Francisco.
That's okay. I mean, that's going to happen now and then to all of us, right? But it's not a reason to say we can't do it on that day.
Right.
Well, can we usually do the first Tuesday? Or are all the Lincoln Land Trust meetings on the first Tuesday?
Well,
It's just a
I think
one-time show. It's a one-time.
Yeah, but I think another drawback of the first Tuesday is that that's also election day sometimes in November.
Once every how many?
Yeah, well, every couple of years. But what I'm thinking is what's wrong with the second Tuesday and we don't have that potential conflict every now and then. And also too, this first Tuesday is the day after Labor Day in September.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
you know,
second Tuesday. Okay.
yeah, I kind of like that. Also, and if we meet in July, it's probably not going to be a competition with the 4th of July if it happens to be a 3-day weekend.
The holidays, right?
Okay,
Yeah, okay, sounds good.
second Tuesdays. Ooh,
All right, so
awesome.
that's Tuesday, October 10th.
Yep.
Thanks, Christina, for catching.
Boy, this is fantastic. Let's see. And we've talked about the events calendar.
So I wanted to sort of give you an update. There's a cluster of people who are interested in establishing a separate pollinator plant group in Concord.
Great.
Connected with the National Pollinator Pathway organization, because that organization would provide a lot of support as well as educational materials.
I think
And
that's great. Yeah.
The director, Jana, son is at Bentley, I think, this year. And she's available to talk with interested people on the 12th, 13th, or 14th. And Laura suggested the 14th. I haven't heard back from Jonna what I think she's coming for Parents Weekend is my guess.
Ah,
I have her speak on the 14th. And so Laura asked if we as a town committee could get a Harvey Wheeler. And I spoke to Harvey Wheeler and they said that our select board representative would need to enter the paperwork for that.
okay, okay.
And so I do need to hear from John to confirm, time and day.
Yes,
But I think if you're talking with Henry Dane, then tell him that we want him to put in the paperwork for Harvey Wheeler. And then, so that we could use the room. And
Okay.
it's a Saturday. So one of us would pick up the keys on Friday. And then we're responsible for setup and breakdown. There'll be no custodial and there'll be no cost.
okay. Which month? Oh, that's October 14th?
Yes.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you know a lot about this.
Well, it's something we've been talking, a group of people have been talking about getting moving. We wanted to do it over the summer, but summer's not a good time. And so
Yeah.
this is in conjunction with Climate Preparedness Week.
Okay.
Of that.
Okay.
And so Laura and Janet Anderson and myself are the prime people, and we would
Okay.
invite everybody and anybody interested in native plants. So individual people as well as NRC, CLCT, the garden clubs,
Yeah.
anybody you can think of. Oh, Rotary is another, Girl Scouts, everybody.
And so and our involvement with this would be to get the space for them, would they want us to have a table there?
I think this is more to be as a planning group to actually establish an independent native plant group from a town committee. Because we're constrained with town committee in terms of size, in terms of communication, and in terms of networking. And so this would be Pollinator Pathway, and it would, that once people say they're really on board, then we would start to get formally organized as an independent group.
Yeah, I think that's good. I mean, I think it's also good because I don't think of our committee as being just plants, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so this, as you say, this needs more energy than our committee can produce on that. I think it sounds reasonable. Okay. So I guess I could talk to Dane about that. In some ways, I'd almost like to refer him to you because you know the details.
Sure,
But
I would be great.
Pardon?
That would be fine.
Yeah, let me do that but I'd be glad to broach the idea. Also, I don't personally see, I don't know, how do you guys in the committee feel? I don't personally see a problem. Isabel, you could just talk to Dane yourself. I mean, I don't need to be in the middle, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Because I'm not, there's nothing I'm adding to it except to say, gee, you ought to talk to Isabel,
But just let him know that this is something that the committee is okay with.
Yeah,
So I
so
guess
maybe let's
I
have a vote to help you. All in favor of having the committee support this activity, however, or having the town support any way they can.
So you propose that, I second it, and so then we vote on it.
Sure.
Okay.
I'll move that. You're
I
second. I guess all in favor?
Okay.
Janet?
Janet,
Yeah.
favor?
Yeah,
Okay, good. So that's unanimous. So yeah, when you talk to Dane, you can say we discussed it and we voted on it and we're all in favor of it. And now he might say, well, right, but at least it gives you,
Right,
gives you the, what am I
start.
trying to say? You know, at least our interest. I like it. And like I say, we'd be glad to support them with literature. I would love to see that committee, you know, and it's developing plant lists that are useful for pollinators
Yeah,
and natives, and that's all, it's all good.
yeah, and I mean, part of it would also be that we would hopefully develop a communication of events in the area that everybody could go to.
Yeah, yeah. That National Pollinator Pathway Group is good.
Yeah.
And they've
I
got
went,
that.
I went to the Lexington one on Saturday and it was fascinating. It was really good.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was individual homes. And I
Nice.
think, you know, a lot of Concord individual homes might really perk an interest.
Yeah. I think, yeah, I would be, well, do you want to tell us a little bit about that? We've got a few minutes. I mean, what could we
Is there
do?
anything else on the, anybody else have agenda items? So this was through Lexington Living Landscapes. And apparently you can also buy, I have to look into this, but you can buy in Lexington rain barrels. I don't know the cost, but they have them at their town program. I went to 3 or 4. I was just beat from, you know, working the booth, setting up and working the booth. The first we went to was in, I don't know if you know the area on something Hill. Can't remember what the name is. I don't have it here. Near Wilson's Farms. It's a Gropius neighborhood, Gropius architecture. And it was a very wooded environment, which was just covered with wood asters in bloom. It was beautiful. And she had lovely paths that went down and through. And she showed a before and after picture of removing so many of the cultivars and our introduced plants and planting native. The next one that we went to was further down, right on the Arlington line. And it was this very tight neighborhood, and they had planted their medium strip with lots of native plants. They had quite a large mix of introduced plants and native, but one outstanding feature was they had a bayberry hedge that was absolutely solid and it was just gorgeous. And I never thought of bayberry being, you know, 10 feet high. But it was great. And they had planted they had planted beach plum and another beach oriented up on a hill in basically, Arlington.
It sounds like they have sandy soil.
I think they have sandy soil. I think that was part of it. I'm not sure they're thriving, but that's, so, and then the last one was on Grant Street, which is right behind the Lexington Public Works, right off of the Main Street. And they had a small front yard, and they had a friend who just has an interest in landscaping. They put in a nice walkway. I mean, nice means small front yard. A nice brick walkway with another path in it, and then they just planted native plants that just thrived in the sunshine, and were just really gorgeous. Hyssop and I'm trying to think. He had snake root and things that I had, and it was beautiful. And I was like, how did you not have any weeds? And he said, well, I spent all of 2 days before pulling horse tails out. So it was weedless because he had just weeded. But he was so excited to be doing native and was trying to develop a pollinator strip along his driveway. But I would say the area was almost the size of this room, which is 10 by 10. Maybe it was 20 by 15, but it was really small. Mm-hmm. But and he had a nice rain barrel that had a diverter that catches some of the water, but not all the water. And he told a story about having a beautiful rain barrel that he did not drain, and so then it burst.
Oh,
And he had this big hunk of ice that stayed there forever. So it was really nice. So, and if you get a chance to go by Harrington, we're in full bloom at the Harrington Pollinator. You know, on Laura's cover, that was the garden, and there's hummingbirds. There was a monarch caterpillar. There was a monarch caterpillar when I was out there Friday, I guess. I hope the birds didn't eat it. I don't know. And we're gonna have a work party out there. We need to get more. I need to get more wood chips in for the paths. They've degraded.
Okay.
But we have like 5 different goldenrods blooming. I have New England asters are blooming, but somebody ate all the other asters that bloomed last year, so they're alive but not blooming. And there's
Would
just a
that
lot
be- Are
blooming.
you talking about rabbits?
I don't know whether it's rabbits or deer. I really don't know. Both eat that.
Mhm.
And I need to dig some of my backyard. So if anybody wants any wood asters, they're just about to bloom, and you're welcome to come and dig.
I might take some. Do they do well in shade?
They love shade, yeah.
I'm always desperate for something that will survive in shade.
Well, I've got lots here, and I really have to dig it out because it's taken over.
Yeah.
and I have asters, but I'm not sure what kind.
Uh-huh.
I
Well,
mean,
these are all volunteers from I don't know when. So,
That sounds interesting. We've got a shady wooded area. I'd take a few. Yeah.
well,
And
come on over because I
Okay.
really want to push it back and put something else in there.
Yeah.
and I need to thin mine. I'd like to do that after they bloom. They won't bloom for another probably week and a half.
Yeah, these are in bud. I don't know when they're gonna pop
And you're
out.
supposed to bloom like the 3rd week in September.
Yeah.
Ah.
And there's something to do with asters, and there's a Saint's Day that they say that it blooms at certain. I'll have to look that up. It's kind of cute.
Send it to us. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
The 14th, I may not be available that weekend if the previous weekend rains. I will not be available the weekend of 14th.
Okay, that's the availability of the speaker. So
Yeah, I know, but I just so you know up front that my
I'll be-
availability is iffy. But if you want a sign of any sort, you can or even just the dry erase board to put up something at the last minute, let me know.
Okay, thank you.
I mean, it's just like the one I had. It's identical. I got 2 of them.
Okay,
And if you plug it into, the kind of thing you use on your charger, that bigger,
yeah,
like a battery. I have one little one battery thing that it has lights around it.
oh, okay.
Go fig. It's kind of garish, but it does definitely eye catching.
Nice.
And I've got a bunch of dry erase markers, different colors, a whole bunch of different colors. So, or if somebody has an idea to do something ahead, just, let me know, please. A bit
Thank you.
ahead so that I can do that. Or, and even like, we could, if we have some handouts, we could pin like the main copies of them across the corkboard or something too. I mean, just, there's ways of using it. I got the small ones because we had such a hard time the last time at the gig here of things falling. And I thought you can hang those, but they can stand up on the table too. And I just thought they would work out. And it seemed to work out, it stayed pretty well Saturday. I was surprised.
Mhm.
It didn't fall over or blow over there wasn't much wind, but
Nice.
so I have two of them. So anyone who wants to borrow them, they're more than welcome to borrow them.
So
Or-
I'm scheduled to speak at Concord Can on the 19th. And Janet, if I could have a table, that would be really nice, because I'll put literature out for people to look at.
What are you speaking on, Isabel?
Basically biodiversity and native plants. What else do I know?
Well,
I hear social
you
work.
know other things that you're not telling. I know. I
can
found
talk
it out.
Determinants of health, social determinants of health, but
So you want me to find out if there's a table at the church you can use?
yes.
Okay.
So-
Or else, I
Does
guess.
that start at 7:30 or 8 in the
How,
morning?
how big? It's 7:45 if you want to eat something, and it starts at 8.
Okay,
What size table do you want?
They have a round or one of the long, like what we had at the booth.
So you want something that's sort of 6 feet long and 2 feet
Yeah.
wide, one of those?
Mhm.
Okay. I will inquire.
Could
Because
you
they
say-
put up for the food, so I figured they could give me one too.
Yeah, I think they must have a bunch of them. I'll just check with Janet Lawson.
Thank you.
Could you say exactly what you're doing that day and what it is? I missed part of it.
I'm gonna talk about Concord, its lack of biodiversity, and
Okay,
what
yeah.
what people, the community, what the state, and what the federal government can do,
Okay.
needs to do.
Okay, and what's the date?
The 19th.
October 19th. Or
no,
September. I'm sorry. I missed. Are you the only person talking, or are you like part of a panel? Or
No, I think I'm alone. I have a half hour. And they have other business, I'm sure.
Nope, you'll be the star.
Uh,
So that's Concord Camp. Okay. And swap off drop offs early this year, right?
Yep.
September. Okay. When you said Concord Can, that's I always think of swap off drop off. Oh, from Saturday, thinking of the swap off drop off, made me think I guess it's the editor person of the Bridge said she hadn't heard anything from us and would like to hear from us.
okay.
okay. I know that Laura really keyed in with her to get some art, a lot of this into the Bridge.
Okay.
Should we write an article for the Bridge about leaving the leaves?
I think we would be better to about pesticide. Well, I don't know.
Okay,
Well, yeah, I think the pesticide thing is really important. I mean, when you look at all those mosquito spraying signs that were around town, all it popped out
Yeah.
in May and June. It was like,
yeah,
and then the other thing is the neonics aren't gone. They're
Yep.
just not consumer. And I think most people have no clue what their landscaper is doing. And I don't know how you really find that out for real.
Well,
Yeah.
I called Pure Solutions because they do next door, and I'm doing the Xerxes study on pesticides. We're looking at the concentration and the drift. And Pure Solutions they sent me a whole list of what they say they send. And then I have collected one set of samples. I missed the last because I was away, and I'm hoping I'll catch it this rotation for another set of sampling. But Massachusetts is one of the few states that's doing this pesticide study with Xerxes. So if anybody would volunteer, and maybe that's something I can forward you. Some of that information all came from Rosemary, and she's the coordinator for Massachusetts that you know, Mark.
oh, okay,
what is her last name? She was with NOFA and now she's with Xerxes.
Okay,
You know, Rosemary, I'll look her up for you.
I'm trying to think of the last name. Like, nothing comes. I know some folks from NOFA.
Rosemary Malfi, Malfi.
Ah, okay,
I've seen that name, yeah.
okay.
So you've had good luck then just asking the companies, Isabel.
Called the company and said, you know, I wanted to find out what you're doing. And they were very accommodating.
Thank you.
I'll send you all the info.
Oh yeah, I've got, yes, she was at NOFA.
I've seen her
Got
name.
a phone number. Was it 219-6648, area code 978?
I have no idea. I don't talk to her on the phone.
That might have been, that was in an email probably from NOFA. It's probably a NOFA office number. Okay, so who's she with now? Did you say?
The Xerxes.
Okay,
Xerxes, the XEREI.
oh, okay. In Massachusetts Xerxes Society?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I like the idea of writing an article about pesticides. I've been working on a little bit of it. Actually for another reason too, because there's a town well that we use that's pretty close to an area that's being treated with pesticides. And
Who treats it?
well, the farmers do that use neonics, and then the golf course uses even more. So the Nashotah golf course, I should say, that the Concord one is pretty good, but the Nashotah guys want to kill everything in sight, I think. Sorry. Okay, no, that's enough out of me.
Well, it was really interesting to see that the garden club had their whole focus was native plants, which is quite a switch from where they'd been.
Cool. You mean on
Well,
Saturday?
On
Yeah,
Saturday,
They
yeah.
were sort of.
Nice.
And it was they've come a long way.
Yeah, they were the ones that backed us for doing Harrington Park, way back when.
And
They
I
pitched in.
got a what do you call it? A form for whatever, subsidize their things.
You mean like a proposal form?
Yeah, but they fund some things and you have to
Yes.
you fill it out. It's due October 20th. It's online. And I talked to the person who coordinates that. I can't think of her name right now.
Yeah, sure.
It's all online. And
Yeah.
I have this dream of doing something on front of Peter Bulkley there
That's
at
a great idea.
115 Stowe Street.
Yeah.
It's been an uphill battle to even get the housing authority to listen to anything and the board. But Stefan Bader is on the board and he's quite good about it. But several of the people were incredibly unknowledgeable, that's being very polite,
Okay.
about plants, gardens, or anything that grows.
Okay.
I mean, just like they lived on another planet. I mean, that far.
Yeah.
And they did the best they could and they made garden rules this year. And the only reason I still have mine and my next door neighbors, we were grandfathered. I think they didn't want to listen to us. We would have made a fuss and a half.
Well,
and
maybe
probably
this
put
is-
some pictures in the bridge.
Maybe this is something that we might, since we're a town committee and the housing authority is a town committee.
Well, they're a state committee, I think. It's kind of a funny thing. They
Okay.
don't have a lot of town. They don't answer to a lot in the town. They do and they
Okay.
don't. Kind of weird, but that's okay. They're both government committees.
Yeah. Well, we could certainly, I don't see why we couldn't, as a committee, communicate to them the advantages of supporting native wildlife with Because I drove past
I
there the
wouldn't
other
say,
day.
I wouldn't say wild, I wouldn't use the word wildlife because we have a lot of mice and critters. And
Okay,
you have to be careful how I mean, how you sell something to this crew.
well,
Well,
there's ways. Yeah.
yeah, no, I mean, and
Well,
one of the people who they'll be hiring a new, there'll be a new person head of maintenance. Now, whether they just hire a maintenance worker and promote one of the workers who's currently here to be
yeah.
head maintenance person, but the head maintenance person is retiring in the fall, I think even October, as early as that. But so there'll be a position open on maintenance. And I hadn't
Okay.
thought about it, but you're making me think. I said, well, maybe somebody with more of a gardening. I mean, the big brag at the meetings is they mow the lawn every week,
Yeah. Yeah.
whether it needs it or not. I mean, so anything
Okay.
that can help there, I'd be really willing to. I have
Okay.
a question for you, Mark, and it's kind of out of order in a way, but do you get to go to the chairs meeting?
Yes. Did
Okay.
you want to go to one? And
And,
I don't
I
have to
mean,
go
if
to
you
them all. In fact, that was one of the things I would love to pass around the committee is if folks would like to attend that, representing our committee, of course.
I mean, I wouldn't mind doing that sometime, but
Okay.
but I was just meant to make sure that somebody was going because
Yeah.
I'm
I
familiar with other friends who have at first kind of blew it off and then have found out that it's really been working well for them.
Yeah, and I think I have been doing a lousy job of attending those because I had a granddaughter that went to school and at the same time, and I had to put her on the bus. But she's now in middle school, so it's easier for me. But I really do think it's a useful meeting for us all to go to because you get to find out a lot about what's going on around town, and all we have to do as a member is just say, "Hey, here's what our committee's up to." And
Okay.
people are very interested in what we're up to. So it's I think
When
it's
is the next one?
part that they happen monthly. The
Yeah.
next one should be pretty soon.
So
Uh,
Thursday morning or something.
I think it's the 20th. The chair's breakfast. It's at 8. I think it's at 8 o'clock, might be 7:30. I'll double check. Did you want to do that, Lois?
What day of the week is it?
It's a Wednesday. It's always a Wednesday.
That doesn't work easily for me. I might be able to arrange it
Okay.
at some point, but
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, but-
Lois, Isabel, do you want to do that one?
Sure.
Okay, super. Okay. Ooh, this is awesome. I've enjoyed going to them. It's fun. And the last time I actually went in person, which is the first time I've done that since COVID started. And it's good. Cool.
well, you also sometimes you find out who's digging up what too,
Yeah.
figuratively or
Yeah.
actually.
And there's a lot of stuff going on that you find out about that's useful for us to know about as a committee. So, go with your ears open as well as being able to represent to tell them what we're up to.
Okay.
Excellent.
So,
We should,
uh,
yeah,
sorry, it's
It
8
is.
o'clock.
yes.
I personally am
agree.
losing steam here, so.
Yeah.
Me too. And thank you so much. Have you been
I'm
taking
going to
notes?
adjourn.
Okay. One quick question. You're all set for notes this time?
Yep, I will,
Okay, good.
I'll send out the draft ones, but someone else will need to finalize and PDF.
Okay, and good. Thanks so much. And think about if you'd like to become clerk or chair.
Oh,
Thanks a
thank
lot. All righty.
you. Oh, that's meant to other people.
That's right. Oh, yes. See you before a month from now. Take
Okay.
care.
Thanks.
Thanks for all the help on Saturday.
Thanks for everything.
It was
Night
fun.
now.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, we did.